Now to some breaking news. The FBI has discovered videos at the storage facility where the Boston University shooter took his own life. Police say Claudio Manuel Nieves is the man responsible for killing two people at Brown and an MIT professor. The FBI published a transcript of the videos Nieves left behind, which were translated from Portuguese to English. In one, Nieves said, quote, "So what has been done now? I'm in a storage space in Salem," referencing the place where he took his own life. CBS News senior crime and public safety producer Anna Schecter joining us live now. So Anna, what are we learning from these transcripts?
Juliet, this is really extraordinary to see because we know now that he had been planning this for weeks and months. It matches up his description, essentially saying that he had many opportunities over the last semester. I think we even have a quote talking about where he talks about how he chickened out after having opportunities. There you see it on your screen. I had plenty of opportunities, especially this semester. I had plenty of opportunities, but I always chickened out, and I already explained why I did it this time. Now, interestingly, the Department of Justice says that he actually didn't explain exactly why. They say they are still searching for a motive. There you see he also talks about how there was reporting about something that he yelled right when he opened fire. And he's saying that I must have made an exclamation like, "Oh no," or something like that to express that it was empty. That is, quote, "If I said something like that, I thought that the people had left," end quote. So he's really, in a cold, calculating way, describing this horrific attack. And I guess it's not surprising that somebody demonstrating some kind of sociopathic language carried out these attacks, but it is chilling, certainly, to read this transcript. It's interesting that the Department of Justice chose to release this. They probably want to show that they have been making progress. They were able to get access to his devices. In one of the videos, he says that it was recorded on an SD card, so they were able to upload those, review them, get them translated, and they wanted to enter it into the record. I think they want to demonstrate that even though the perpetrator is deceased, they continue to try to seek information and therefore justice in some way for the families of the two students who were killed and the other students who were injured. And of course, the MIT professor, the brilliant professor who was the father of young children, married, that he was assassinated at close range. That's another thing, Juliet, that's interesting when you read this transcript carefully. He talks about being injured in the eye after he shot the professor at close range. And he's so concerned about his own injury, and he shows absolutely no remorse or concern about the lives lost and the injured people injured by his gunshot. It's just a truly chilling, just chilling evidence of that kind of narcissism and self-absorption. And having covered a lot of cases, it is not uncommon for the perpetrator of these cold-blooded murders to be so consumed thinking about themselves and not showing remorse for victims. But that really did stand out to me in reviewing these transcripts.
Yeah, it certainly does. No concept over what they're doing, just about their own physical being. So we know law enforcement are still investigating this case. What more are they looking for at this stage?
Well, they say they really want to find a motive. Here's what they've told us, and what we learned from our own reporting is that the MIT professor and this shooter had studied together in the late 1990s. So more than 25 years ago, they were in the same exact academic physics track at a university in Portugal. So they definitely knew of each other. But fast forward, we don't have a timeline of the two of them interacting. We don't have his internet searches. Was he obsessed with this professor? Was he searching him, reading articles as the professor was gaining more and more respect and fame, really, for leading this prestigious laboratory of 250 scientists at MIT and doing really important, groundbreaking work. Meanwhile, he himself was not succeeding in that field of physics. So they want to know more about that, and we haven't gotten much information about what happened between them in the intervening years, just in terms of did he become obsessive about this individual? Then let's look at Brown University. They, in their statement this evening, they noted that they still don't know exactly why the students were targeted. They know that Brown University was targeted, but if you read the transcript carefully, he says he wasn't even wanting to open fire in that particular auditorium. So it really was kind of random. But what he says is that he clearly had cased this campus multiple times in the last year. And we know from our own reporting that he had rented a vehicle in the Boston area several times in the last year. So what this transcript does for me is kind of put the puzzle pieces together of how much time he spent lurking on campus before carrying out the attack. And that raises serious security concerns to me when it comes to campus security.
Yeah, absolutely. Disturbing pieces to this puzzle. Anna Schecter, thank you so much for your insight as always.